Greetings all. In the middle of the evening traffic and taking a little walk. And walking, sometimes I find myself reasoning about things that I see and hear. And today, run across here quickly. Today is about one John Kerry at the World Economic Forum meeting. When these people get together, the people who from the business community who pretty much run the world, you know, those think tanks that I'm telling you about, and large businesses in America like Ford and General Motors and Yahoo, Google, Apple. And there are some that you don't hear about that control the military-industrial complex. They make the ships and the missiles and things that America fights wars with. But John Kerry is a familiar face in the political world. What one time he was Secretary of State for the United States government. And he said that one of the problems that is faced by governments today is the First Amendments in the United States, which give freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and so forth. And they are trying to find a way to silence what people call independent press. Because they say, that he says, and other people also, that the narrative cannot be controlled by, can no longer be controlled by the government when there are so many people who is putting out information that is contrary to what the government is saying. And that people are turning to these alternative methods of getting information rather than listen to what the government has to say. And if you notice that the government controls the press in America, England, France, Germany, most of the world. When you take away that right to talk about what the government is doing or what the military is doing, what the rulers and leaders are doing that is not right and destroying your life, you get what's happening in Africa. African leaders can do anything that they want to do. Even if, wow, that's a beautiful cloud. Even if you're walking down the street and a leader run you over and kill you, you may never hear anything about it. And if your family complain, some other people in the family might die. You see what happened in Kenya the other day when people start demonstrating peacefully now. Police sent in to kill the demonstrators. Africa now finds itself in a crossroads where the once powerful countries like England, France, Germany, that used to suppress them find it difficult to do so. And now they are putting pressure on the leaders of Africa to do it. And Africans, I would suggest to you, do not allow this to happen. The other day, I saw, not other day, but over a period of time, last about few months, a lot of the people who voice their opinion on YouTube, their channel has been taken down. People all over the world, in Germany, France, if you say anything about Israel, they can pick you up off the street, put you in jail, charge you with hate speech, inciting violence and all that. But guess what? The same violence that you're complaining about Israel, you are not doing it. You're just complaining about it happening. The governments that are putting you in jail are the ones who is helping Israel to perpetuate their violence. Now I hope you understand why Israel wanted a seat at the table at the AU. If they can control the narrative in Africa, they wouldn't be charged before the court by South Africa for what they're doing. Just like in America and Britain and France, Germany, where the news about the things that Israel are doing is being suppressed except for independent people who are speaking about it. The same thing would be happening in Africa. Nobody in Africa would know Israel is doing these atrocities. It's like today that we'll learn about what Africa did in Namibia. I mean, not Africa, what Germany, sorry. What the Portuguese have done. What the British have done. What the French have done. Because they have suppressed it. Only a few people know about it, but now the general population of Africa is beginning to learn about it. If nobody was allowed to talk about these things, if the independent people who, historians especially, weren't allowed to write about these things, about what happened to Africans, if the story of slavery was not allowed to be told, guess what would be happening? Don't allow this to happen in Africa. YouTubers in Africa ought to stop talking about just feel good things and start talking about what's going on the ground. Voice the frustration of the people wherever you are, from South Africa to Morocco, from Tanzania and Ethiopia and Somalia to Gambia. Don't stay silent. Otherwise, when somebody comes to pick you up, nobody will know and nobody will say a word about it. But if everybody speaks, it's hard to pick you up and it's hard to hide you, hard to harm you, because the world will know about it. Africa is at a crossroads. The things I talk about are the things that we should be dealing with, so that when the system that we have in place today that's failing, it is not going to fail and just drift away. When you corner a tiger, it tries to find a way out. somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody will get hurt. And the tiger that's called a Caucasian right now, he's preparing for war, and Africa is not ready for it. No food, no water, no transportation system. So if you don't have any transportation system, you can't move food from the place that is needed, from the place where it's grown to the place where it's needed. If you don't have wells, no water. You don't have power plants, no power. Your children can't go to school. When these people who they claim are supporting Africa through the UN, and when their money dries up, what are you going to do? You have to start taking care of all these things yourself. Ourselves. We have to start doing it. You got to stop the leaders from stealing and corrupting others to steal, so that the money will go towards the benefit of the states of Africa instead of this back to the European banks. I hope you comprehend what I'm trying to say. Have a great day wherever you are. Peace. Beautiful sky. Beautiful evening sky. Even with the traffic.